Unlike all the other gurus and YouTubers, I don't have a morning routine. My morning routine consists of every year I decide to make a theme out of the entire year. I pick up one thing which I want to change and I give myself entire year to improve on that. This year, actually next year, that will be consistency. I want to have a consistent content production and consistent writing. And the last year, the theme was to be kinder, to be nicer to other people. Each, let's say, month, I stop by and evaluate how things are going. And it has been doing well. I think I made a huge progress, and I spent the entire year focusing on being nicer to other people. But I failed at one thing when it comes to this year. I wasn't nice enough to myself. And I count as people as well. So apart from being more consistent in the next year, I want to be nicer to myself. In order to be consistent, you actually need to be nicer to yourself. You need to praise the things that you did instead of dreading about the things that you haven't done. You need to appreciate the effort that you put into the work. You need to appreciate the things that you have, that you earned, instead of the things that you don't have and you didn't earn. I remember a TED Talk by Simon Sinek. He said something like, when you start skiing, you focus on the trees because you don't want to hit the trees. And all you think about is, I mustn't hit the tree, I mustn't hit the tree, I mustn't hit the tree. And all you see is the trees. And you freak out. And eventually you hit the tree because you can't miss all the trees. But once you get more experience in skiing, which is something I have no idea how to do, then you start focusing on the path. I can go there, I can go there, I can go there. Look, there is another passage. And what this story boils down to is focus on the things which you want to become, focus on the roads you wish to take, and you'll know what to do. But if you only focus on the things that you don't want to do and you don't want to become, you will just live in fear and you still won't know what to do. And you will still be standing in place or hitting all the trees because eventually you hit the tree. Steven Pressfield often says that all you need for a synopsis is a yellow legal pad, one sheet of yellow legal pad. I don't have a yellow one, this is the white one, but that's my novel synopsis. And I made it a couple of months ago. But what's interesting is that I made a slight turn yesterday. And it's scary when you make that turn. For some reason, I had that gut feeling which told me you want to go this way. And I think whenever that feeling comes, it's your inner self telling you, look, this is the path. And if you listen it and you write down, like I did, like, take this path, this could be good, eventually you'll start to doubt. Maybe I should stick to the old one. Maybe that's a bad idea. Everybody will laugh at that. And whenever you hear that negative self-talk, it's fear, it's insecurity, it's resistance, it's whatever it is, but it's your ego. And don't listen to that. Try to remember that gut feeling which you had when you started. The writing is quite slower than usual. I usually finish my 500 words in about 40 minutes to an hour, sometimes even faster. But today it takes me 2 hours. I'm not yet done. And I think that's because I'm trying to fight that ego, which is telling me not to switch directions. And whenever I'm going to taking a different route, doing something unusual, then it starts fighting, and I got distracted. I went online, I was browsing social media, and get a little bit upset about all of that stuff. Not the stuff I saw there, but the fact that I was distracted, that upset me. But I need to take it easy on me and not to dread on that. Instead, I stop the writing for the day once I reach 500 words, and usually it means stopping in the middle of the sentence. And what's funny about that, once I sit down to write the following day and I see just a fragment of the sentence, I usually don't know what I wanted to say. And but I don't delete these 2 or 3 or 5 words that started a sentence. I just continue with whatever I had. And that's a good trick, because you're not starting from a blank slate, let's say, or a blank paper. You've got 2 or 3 or 5 words that you can work with. The thing is that I developed that style that I tend to write very short sentences, something I learned from Hemingway, something I liked about his writing, and I decided to develop that style, which is something I don't usually do while speaking. I tend to interrupt myself, and so I was sitting there. See, this is my editing spot. I was editing my footage, and in one clip, I realized, man, my voice just disappeared. And I thought, okay, maybe that was a glitch, because I had a glitch. I forgot to turn off the camera while I was recording myself from the back. And it completely drained my battery because it was on for more than 2 hours. And the battery wasn't full anyways. So I thought, okay, maybe it's got heated up or something like that. And then I imported another clip and another clip and another clip. And none of these clips had sound which freaked me out because I thought I told a good story. And I haven't noticed that the battery died, which is a shame. I don't remember this happening before, that the microphone failed. Actually, that I failed to see that its battery died. I don't know how this happened. Usually I double check. I know this. I guess this will be a huge school for the future. Always to check your microphone and to have your moving lines on the display. But yeah, these things happen, so don't worry about that. So it's green now. Now we're all good to go. Unfortunately, everything that I said wasn't recorded, so I will have to do it again, I guess. So let's do it again. So while I was doing that, I remembered that I read the comments this morning, and you asked me to show what I do when I do nothing. Like record yourself lying on the bed waiting for your ideas. That's not how I work. I barely spend a second doing nothing. The only way that I waste my time is on social media. But even then, I try when I'm browsing social media, when I'm walking the street, when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm taking a shower, I try to listen to my inner voices. And when I hear something good, I either think, oh, this could work as a story, this could work as a video, this could go into the novel, this would be a good addition for that or for this. And that's how I get my ideas. I listen to what's going on inside me. And usually I don't judge them. I judge them the day after, because when I listen to them, everything looks like a good idea. But that inner critic is usually killing all the ideas. So you need to be very selective and to decide, consciously decide what's good and what's bad, or to just listen to your gut. I think listening to your gut is even a better idea than just trying to decide what's good and what's bad. Anyways, I want to conclude this video with one story. I think I was 7 or 8 years old when I first saw the movie E.T. And I had, just after that, I got like a little book as a birthday present. I don't even remember who gave it to me. But that book was like a backstage stories from the making of E.T. And I remember seeing Steven Spielberg for the first time, and I asked my mother, like, who's this guy? And she said, oh, that's the guy who made this movie. That's his movie. He wrote the story. He planned everything. He was in charge for everything in that movie. And then I thought, oh man, that was such a great movie. I want to make things like him. And my mother had a very unique answer every time I expressed my desire to be something. Her answer would be, okay, you can be that, but you need to study hard and you need to read a lot. In the case of the director, it wasn't far from the truth, because in order to become a movie director in this part of the world, you needed to get into the drama academy, and each year they would accept only 5 people, which gave you very slim chances of getting in. And usually that will require you personally knowing someone from the industry, or just being ridiculously good. which wasn't an easy job. And she was right, telling me that I need to study hard and work hard to achieve that. But what wasn't really right was whenever I didn't perform the best, I didn't have the best grades, I didn't do my best, she would always use that to blame me and to try. I mean, she had the best intention. The intention was to motivate me, and what she usually would say to me was, when I would get a bad grade, she would say, "See, you're never gonna be a movie director or a pilot or whatever else I wanted to do." And eventually, I build up that inertia of whenever I wanted to start doing something, I would think that I need to study a lot before I can do that. I need to prepare a lot. So here's the paradox. When I play video games, I spend more time watching other people playing video games and trying to figure out how to play the game well, instead of just playing the game and enjoying the game. Same goes for sports, same goes for anything that I start doing, including these videos. So the reason I was postponing and not producing as much was because I was more studying how to become a YouTuber, how to make vlogs, how to make them look good. I was doing more of that than making them, and getting out of my skin and out of my comfort zone and really trying to do these things was very difficult. And that mindset of you need to study hard, be really good to do something, created some sort of perfectionism, and my inner self-critic is never ever satisfied with what I do. Even when I post something and it seems like really good that day, when I look at it the following day, I see, oh my god, it's crap. Why did I post it? I needed to edit it more. I'm not very good in front of the camera. I'm this, I'm that. And these are the things that once you're in a bad mood can really stop you from posting. So be aware of that. But here is a real depiction of how it looks. I think I'm not only being harsh on myself, and my inner self-critic is not only harsh on my work, it's also harsh on the works of others who are close to me and who really want to hear my opinion on how did they perform, how did they do. So here is a funny story. My wife works as a teacher, and now it's the end of this semester, and they had a little show, an event, and the children were performing and getting the Christmas presents and all that stuff. So my wife took the camera, and she wanted to take the photos of the children of the event. Yeah, and there, besides her, there was a professional photographer. I decided that I will only criticize her photos once she asked me, like, how would you improve this? Or what would you do differently here? I would say they look amazing because they look amazing, but I would always find something to improve. And I realized that could sometimes discourage her, so I stopped doing that. So I would only give feedback if she really wants it. But that wasn't the case with my work. I always wanted feedback, and I always made my work look bad. I've seen like majority of the photos she took and sent to the parents, and they were good. Nothing to complain about. But today she sent me a link and said, like, take a look at these photos. And these were the photos by a professional photographer. Professional means someone who's not good, but someone who's making a living out of it. And boy, I I would be really embarrassed to even post these photos online, let alone sell them to these parents or to the school or whatever happened. I know that this person's kid goes to that school, and I thought, oh, maybe she didn't want to do it. Maybe she just was winging it, like didn't really try hard. But then my wife told me that she actually volunteered to take photos of the event. And once they finished taking photos, she approached my wife and she told her, like, why do you teach? And my wife really likes teaching. And she's also a good photographer. She's really got a good eye for that. I had to learn how to compose a photo, but she just does that naturally, which I think is a great talent. But that woman who's a professional photographer, I couldn't find a single photo that was well composed. And I guess the lesson of the day is, what is the key to consistency? I think the key to consistency is to not be so harsh on yourself. Because if you're harsh on yourself like I am, you're gonna eventually you're gonna stop posting things online because you think they don't deserve to be online. While other people who are not that harsh on themselves and just keep doing the work, they will gain an audience, they will gain the customers, they will start living, doing the things you would love to do, just if you're not that self-critical. So that I think, apart from the consistency, I truly believe now, in order for me to succeed or anyone else to succeed, you need to keep doing the things, keep deliberate practice. Yes, learn from your mistakes, but don't be a jackass over them. Don't be a moron and let those mistakes prevent you from posting the stuff online. Don't just listen to anybody's feedback. Just do what you think is right, and then try to improve on that, try to build on that. But after all, at the end of the day, be proud that you did something. Don't try to make the perfect video, the perfect novel, the perfect story, the perfect photo. Try to make a photo every day. Whatever you do, try to do that little thing each and every day. And as time goes by, you must improve. And if you let that inner critic work, you must know that that voice in your head will never be satisfied. Even the best people in the world have that thing in their head talking about, oh, you suck, you're so awful. But you just acknowledge the presence of that voice, and you pat yourself on the back, and you say, you got it, boy. Just keep working. Just keep working. It will come to the place. You're still good enough. Don't worry about it. And I think that's the moral of the story. I didn't expect it to be this long, and I didn't expect to turn on this. But after all of this, what happened today with the cameras and the microphones and all that stuff, I think this video turned out well. Yeah. So see you tomorrow.